Today, I want to talk about the impact of the recent federal court decision that came down and how it can impact current DACA holders, as well as if you should apply if you're someone seeking an initial grant of DACA. Hi, I'm Soyuna Tak. I'm an attorney and one of the founders of Simvisa. If DACA is granted, then it does not give someone lawful immigration status. However, for removal proceedings, which are the immigration court process for deportation, that will be deferred for 2 years, and the person can request work authorization. And all this is subject to renewals, which can be granted every 2 years. So DACA, like I mentioned, doesn't give lawful status, but it's an exercise of prosecutorial discretion. So for example, the government might say, we want to prioritize doing deportation proceedings for someone committing criminal acts versus, a grandma or a kid or something like that. So that's kind of the notion that there is this, the law provides for prosecutorial discretion. The most recent decision, which was issued on September 13th, 2023, came from the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Texas. So that's the federal court that's situated in Texas. And that decision expanded a prior 2021 order. So if you currently have DACA, then that remains valid, including any related work authorization. And you should continue to file for renewals on time, and USCIS will continue to accept and adjudicate those renewals. So that's really good. Now, if you're someone who had DACA before and it expired, but then you file for renewal within 1 year of that expiration, then USCIS will also continue to accept and adjudicate those DACA renewals as it has done so in the past. Now, if you are someone who's making an initial request for DACA, and that means it's your first time, you've never filed for DACA before, or it's been more than 1 year since your DACA, which was granted previously, has expired, then USCIS will accept your application for DACA, but it will not adjudicate it. So it will actually take it and hold it, but it won't do the work of actually, going through those cases. And that's due to this order that came down on September 13th. So based on this, here are some recommendations. Number one, right? If you have DACA, keep it current and make sure you file on time, any renewals that you have to file so that you can continue to receive this benefit. Now, if you're someone whose DACA has expired, make sure you file that renewal as soon as possible before 1 year has lapsed since the expiration, because otherwise you're going to be kicked into this, the next category, the initial DACA applicant. So for people who have never applied for DACA before, you meet all the guidelines and you think you qualify, but you haven't filed before, or it's been more than a year since your DACA has expired, then what should you do? Because you know that USCIS will actually not adjudicate your case, though oddly they're accepting it. So, what is the right way to go forward? Now, of course, this is a personal decision and it's your choice, but I highly recommend going ahead and making the filing. File that application for that initial grant of DACA. There's nothing for sure. This is all very uncertain. What does it mean they're going to take your application and then accept it but not adjudicate it at the moment? Who knows? But I think it's worth, especially because of this uncertainty, it's definitely worth staking your claim and getting your application on file. We don't know what's going to happen, but it might be the case that this litigation can proceed further, and maybe USCIS will start adjudicating those cases, in which case, great, your case can go forward. Or maybe it'll be for naught. Or it might be the case that there could be some kind of a settlement or a different order that might do something like, well, for people who filed during this kind of uncertain period, maybe those people can be grandfathered in and their application can be processed. So all of this is speculation. None of it's clear, but for all these reasons, kind of just seeing how it's gone before, I highly recommend that you go ahead and make the filing if you're seeking an initial grant of DACA. the statutes or laws governing U.S. immigration, they don't change too often because that involves a Congress, etc. But everything below that, the regulations, guidance, court cases that impact how U.S. immigration is executed, that can change all the time, and it's very dynamic, as you can see. So I hope this gave you a better understanding of the current state of DACA after the most recent decision issued by the Federal District Court. If you found this helpful, please like the video, and for more like it, please subscribe. Also, please feel free to comment below, as we definitely look at those when considering future videos. If you're on the U.S. immigration journey or are interested in this topic, I hope you found this helpful, and I wish you the very best.